So we are back to Majestic13. We rolled an urban mission, as you should be able to see here. I'll switch the two cameras just so as you can see at this point. The second camera isn't as useful. It's behind that. You can just see the church steeple, and that's the main view. We have our I can't remember where I got this print from. I think it was from either Printables or Thingiverse. We have our environment and we have our alien, who is a Gzurn Stalker. Now I'm feeling good about this Gzurn Stalker because looking at its statistics, it isn't as meaty as a lot of the other monsters are so far. It is a Stalker, it can hide itself, it does start cloaked, but we are sector 6, and because we are sector 6, no enemies can start cloaked. Our initiative order will go the Stalker on 26, then Speedy on 24, Cap on 23, Doc on 21, Tank on 18, Snipes on 17, and the Zernian Stalker again on 16. I should point out that I have traded out, I don't know which would be the best camera to show. I have traded out the normal figure that I would use for Tank for a figure carrying a heavy weapon, because we successfully rolled a requisition to get a heavy repeater. Just to mention out there, if anyone knows where I can get a miniature which is like what's his name, Jesse Ventura from Predator, with the minigun and a backpack and some form of chain thing, but a modern-ish miniature rather than a Warhammer-ish miniature, a modern miniature with a minigun. If anyone knows where I might be able to acquire one, please say so in the comments, because I would love to get a figure, because I don't have one. That's the closest I've got to a heavy weapon in modern sort of gear. It would be awesome to have a little minigun. That would be great. Enough about me. So we might kick in. I don't think there's anything else I need to say. Everything rolled pretty. In our diorama we have the lovely church. I thought that is, so often next to a church you have like a community centre, or maybe it's the vicarage. If it is the vicarage, that explains the little yellow sort of VW, a very easy to go car. We've got just a turning in the street and cars, and then we have a terraced, my standard, I love these terraced houses, they look great. These are from Corvus Games Terrain. I love these terraced houses. And I guess that's it. We can kick off. Got top of the line, which is the Stalker. Stalker starts activation with 1 inch of an enemy. No. Starts activation outside 1 inch of enemies and is not hidden. Right, it is outside 1 inch and it is not hidden. It will move to cover against the nearest enemy if possible. If it critically hits an enemy with an attack, the enemy is automatically blinded. Did not use Grasp of Shadows last activation, and it is not hidden at the start of his activation. It will now use Grasp of Shadows. Okay. All enemies within 18 inches must succeed on a dexterity stat check or suffer 3d6 damage and be blinded. So, it is not hidden, so it will start its turn by the... Is there anything within 18 inches? 18 inches is quite far. Yes. So, we have the 3 behind the orange car are within 18 inches, and the 2 who are behind the silver... I don't know, Land Rover type car are not within 18 inches. So it will use, so it's going to use its ability Grasping Shadows. Grasping Shadows says if the Gzurn Shadow did not use Grasping Shadows during its last activation and it is not hidden at the start of its activation, it will now use Grasping Shadows. All enemies within 18 inches must succeed on a dexterity check at 20 or suffer 3d6 damage and be blinded. Okay. This will be for blinded. Alright, so we have Tank needs to make a 20 dex check. He's got a 13 dex. Yep, Tank makes it. And then Cap rolled a 16. So that should do. That's 26. What did I say you needed to get? 20, yep. And yes, definitely it's rolled a 19. And Speedy rolled a 19, so Speedy passed it. So all passed it. So now it has a dex of 25. It is going to attempt to hide. If it hides down there, that makes it a bit more interesting. Hiding over here, actually no, it's just going to run down here and hide, and then it will then be able to go hidden at the beginning of its next turn. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay. Well, it could have done 3d6 damage against them all. Next we have Speedy. On 24, Speedy just has an SA80 for now. We need better weapons. Okay, Speedy only has a dex of 10. Let's see, can Speedy get over to this car here? Speedy can leg it across to this bit here, and then he's going to open up because it's going over the car, over this tree, and it's hiding in the tree over there. I'm going to say it has cover. Speedy has an 11, so a 9 combat plus 2 for the targeter. Like, that's a 5, so that's a 16, so that's a miss. Next we have Cap. Cap has also a dex of 10, but has a combined attack of 20 minus 4, which would be a 16. So it also has a dex of 10. So where can you go, Cap? Can you go past, which would be 2 inches, and then 8 inches would stick you here, and then you can have a fire over there, but of course it will gain cover, which would be the lowest of these two, and the lowest is a 17, which that's definitely going to hit a defense of 20. Yes, that'll definitely hit a defense of 20. I don't think Speedy would. It's only got a defense of 20. Nice. Okay, so Cap does 4d6 plus 2 damage. He rolled a 17 because he does crits on 19 and 20. I'll have to remember that. That's a lot of numbers. That's 15, that's 21 plus 2, that's 23 points of damage. It started... it has... Where is it? Hit points here. 105. 82. 82 already. 82 hit points left. Okay. That was Speedy. That was Cap. Now we've got Doc. Doc doesn't have much of a speed on him. It's a 13. Can Doc get somewhere with 13 movement? Doc can go from where he is, run across, get to the edge, and then open up with his pistol. So Doc is going to run across to here, where it thought he was hiding, and open up with the pistol. Only would do a d6 plus 1 damage if he hits. He has a combat of 11. He needs to get a 9. 19. That definitely hits. Okay, that's a d6 plus 1. Where's my d6s? 3 plus 1, 4. Putting it down to 78 hit points. Wow. And finally, who do we have next? Not finally, we're not on finally. We have Tank going on an 18. Tank has got quite a move. Tank has also got a 13. Tank's got a heavy weapon. If Tank can get from there to that edge, yeah, as I was saying, Tank will run his movement across to here and will attempt to open up down upon the shadow. The shadow will think it's hidden because it ran over and it wasn't expecting everyone to just charge in. To be honest, neither was I. So I might not on this turn give it cover. I might just let Tank attempt to open up on it. Tank's combat's quite good as well, isn't it? Tank's combat is a 13, but he's -2 to hit because he's using the heavy repeater, and he needs to hit a 20, so he needs a 9 or more and gets a 15. I'm going to give it to. What if I'd have rolled 2? 19. 15 was the lowest to hit anyway. There we go. So even if I'd have given it cover, Tank would have hit. So tank hits doing 3d6 plus 2. Have we hit the crossover point where we might get... Oh, it's not very good. So that's 6 plus 2, that's 8. Taking it to 70 hit points. What's its thingy? Its thingy's at 30. So that was tank. Now we have Snipes. Now Snipes' move is low. Snipes' dex is 6. If Snipe can run across there, which is 6, and get to the edge, then Snipe can get a shot, but that shot is definitely with cover. So we'll lay across the top and shoot. That definitely has cover. So Snipes is not ignoring cover because he moved, and he will only do a d6 plus 3 damage if he shoots, if he hits. But he does have a combat of 17. But it's taking the lowest of these two, and the lowest is a 10. He hits, does a d6 plus 3, doing 8 points of damage. Wow! We've actually done damage to the thing. Leaving it on 62 hit points. Okay, now it's the Gzurn Shadow's turn. It will not, because it did use Grasping Shadows last turn, so this turn it's going to use Shadow Coils, which means it will attempt to make 2 attacks against Doc, who's right up front. If they hit, it must make... Doc may become blinded, so it's going to make 2 attacks against Doc. It has a combat of 22, so it needs 8s or more. 2 attacks, so it will move up to be in base-to-base contact with Doc and attempt to hit Doc. It rolled a natural 20 and a 9, so we'll deal with the 9 first. Which is, this is a lot of damage, isn't it? No, it's only a d6 plus 3. So the d6 plus 3, 9 is 9, and then it's going to double this one, which is 9. So that's 18 plus 9 is 27 points. Doc is out because Doc only has 19 hit points, so Doc's out. Wow. Okay, we don't worry to see if Doc gets blinded. One-armed Doc is out. And that was its turn. It moved up and it annihilated Doc. It is going to be hidden. So it starts, it says, when the shadow is set up and at the start of each round, it automatically becomes hidden. Hidden it is. It's a 23 to find it. So, starts its activation outside 1 inch of all enemies and is hidden. It will move to the closest enemy it can see and make an attack with surprise. Surprise means it criticals on a 19 or 20. So it will move up to the closest enemy, and the closest enemy it can see where it is tank. It will move up to tank. It is hidden. It will dash to tank, who wasn't that far away anyway, and it is going to make its coils attack against tank, which means it is going to make 2 attacks against tank with surprise. So critting on a 19 and 20, not that it matters because it rolled a 20 last time. So we'll do that first. So 2 attacks first. It rolled a 19 and a 12. So it crits again. We'll do the damage first and then we will see if tank needs to bother about doing... so what's it? So 12, it's got a combat of 22 plus 12 is 34. Yes, it definitely hits tank. Tank hasn't got his shield anymore, so only 30. But tank, oh, Doc took one point less damage from all those attacks, but it was much more. But we'll remember that tank will take 1 point less on all of these. So the first attack will do 5 plus 3, 8 minus 1, 7. So it will do 7 points on the first attack, and the crit will do 4, 6, 5, double 10, 17 points total. Against tank, 17 means tank has got 14 left. Then tank needs to make 2 dex checks against 22. Tank has a dex of 13, rolled a 10 and a 15, so yes. So tank does not become blinded, and as soon as it attacks from hidden, it ceases to be hidden anymore. So that was its turn 2. We next have Speedy. If Speedy moves around the other side, I'm a lot more happy with Speedy shooting at it. So Speedy will move around to here. I'm pretty sure that will be its 10. Yeah, that's 10. And Speedy will open up on it from behind there. It will no longer have cover. So Speedy has an 11 and a natural 1. So Speedy's gun jams and Speedy has to reload this turn instead. Then we have Cap. Cap will not want to shoot over tank. Cap has a move of 13. Can Cap get behind there? Can Cap get behind it? So that would be, so what's that? That's 5. So that would be a 9. Yes, Cap can. Cap will run around here. And we'll open up on it from there. It doesn't have cover. Cap has, he's 20 minus 4, 16, critting on a 19 or 20. 5. Oh, that still might hit. What was its defense? Its defense is 20, so we've got a 16 plus 5 is 21. Doing 4d6 plus 2 damage. Oh my lord. Okay, rolling a 6, a 6, a 5 and a 3. 12, 15, 20, 22 points of damage. It was on 62, putting it down to 40 points of damage. Are we actually going to win this within round 3? That's amazing. Okay, a huge rocket, launches out, tucks underneath its carapace and just blows out a big chunk of the back. It lets out an inhuman screech of pain. It's 10 points away from going in extremis, or whatever, what's the word? Extremis, in extremis. Okay, so that was Cap. Doc is out. Tank is standing right up in front of it. Tank might take a step back, so Tank's not within 1 inch, but still has total easy shot on it. So Tank is going to step back and unload into it. Tank this seems to be going way fast. Did I just roll really hard aliens for my first goes? So Tank opens up into it with his combat of 13. Let's move these. Oh, I think I might use... No one's critted against it, have we? So a 9, 13, which is 22. Its defense is 20. So Tank hits. Is that right? No, hold on. So I rolled a 9. No, but because it's -2 to hit, so it's an 11 plus 9, which is 20. So it still hits. Okay. Doing 3d6 plus 2 damage. Which is, oh, that was a low roll. Oh dear, tempting fate. Which is 6 points total plus 2, which is 8 points. Still puts it down to 32 hit points just off of Extremis. So that's Tank, and then finally we have Snipes. Snipes hasn't moved. He's leaning over the boot of this car, and I do not think it has cover from where he is. And Snipes has not moved. Snipes got a 17 combat. He rolls a 16, definitely hitting the Shadow Beast, doing 2d6 plus 5 because Snipes did not move. Oh, 4. Why plus? Oh no, probably because of the damage and plus the 2. So 4 plus 5 doing 9 points of damage, putting it to 23 points. It's in extremis. Okay, that is the end of round 2. We might have it by the beginning of round 3. I can't remember if you get extra XP for by the end of round 3 or before round 3. So now the Shadow Beastie goes. It is an extremist, so it does start an extremist, so it suffers 2d6 damage. It suffers 9 points of damage, which will put it on 14. Oh dear, it's and then it takes an. It will suffer 2d6 and takes an extra action during its activation. It will use this action. That's okay, so it's going to do 2 actions. Ooh. Okay, so he will run to. Oops. FC. So cover from anyone. Over there, they'll see. Over here. So it's got a 7. Okay, so it'll go back here. So for anyone to actually come see it, it's going to have to come see it. Yeah, because it's an extremist. And then he gets to have another action. And that action would be Grasping Shadows. You'll use Grasping Shadows. All enemies within 18. Yes, I'm going to say that they all must make a dex check, otherwise they're going to suffer this. The smoke and darkness comes creeping around all of the areas and starts to entwine all of them, and they need to make dex checks to recover from it. And then that will be the end of round 2 and into round 3. So we'll start off with Tank down the end, who needs to make a dex check against 20. No, not Tank, sorry, Speedy. Speedy has a dex of 10 and rolls a 4, so Speedy fails. Then Cap, dex of 10, Cap passes. Then Tank, dex of 13, Tank passes. And then we've got Snipes, a dex of 6. So that makes 17. That fails, doesn't it? Yes. So Speedy takes 3d6 and he's blind. Snipes takes 3d6 and he's blind. Now this is we need to shift these blinds, because this really did us against the. Wow, that's a 6. That's 11. That's 13 against Speedy. And oh, it's 13. 13 against Speedy and 13 against Snipes. So Speedy takes 13 and is down to 14. Snipes takes 13 and is down to 12. Okay, end of turn. It becomes hidden. What did I use that? I used blue for that, didn't I? So beginning of round 3, it becomes hidden. It is in extremis. So it takes 2d6 damage. It's got 14 hit points. So that's an 8. So it goes down to 6 hit points. It starts its activation outside of 1 inch and is hidden. It will move to the closest enemy it can see and make an attack with surprise, which is its shadow coils. So it is going to. Well, who's the first one it can see? The closest one it can see. It can basically see Snipes from where Snipes is. It can see Snipes. So it is going to easily move to Snipes and then do that double attack against Snipes, losing its hidden. It's got surprise, and so that means it will be attacking on a 19 and 20. Shadow coil, so all of its tentacles. So if it hits, Dex check or be well, he's already blinded. So 2 attacks, critting on a 19 or 20. It has a combat of 22, so it needs 8s. It rolled a 19, so it crits, and it missed, rolled a 5. So 1 critical hit. Doing 1d6 plus 3 doubled. Doing 8 points doubled, doing 16 points. This is against Snipes. Snipes only had 12 left, so Snipes goes down. It is no longer hidden. So its second turn is that it will move out of line of sight of everyone, which is probably over here. Which camera are you on? I need to check that, shouldn't I? Oh no, you can see. Just about to see that bit. Let's see if I change. If I change it, yeah, here we go. Now you go to see what I mean. So I reckon it would then move down here, out of line of sight. Although Tank could run across, these two probably don't stand a chance of getting across in time. Although they could call in the airstrike, couldn't they? That might be a good use of their time. Particularly Speedy, who is blinded, could call in an airstrike. So it's observed, so it will make its move and hide, easily hide, down here. I'll switch back. Next we have Speedy. Speedy is going to attempt to get rid of blinded, which is a dex check at 20. Rolling a 17, so definitely relieving that. So Speedy's dex being 10, so getting 27, so Speedy is not blind. That's awesome. Tank kept getting blind that one against the Force. Now, Speedy has 10 dex, so Speedy could not get close enough, but Speedy might run to here, just so as we're closing in on it, and then attempt to call in the airstrike on it here. So we're on turn 3. We get +1 to the call for aid because we're in an urban environment, so giving us a +4. So we will roll our d6. Getting a 5 +4 is 9. Okay, so someone actually picks up for once, and we say, so I call it an airstrike. It's actually a drone strike. In this call, so successful, the team member may immediately make a combat attack against all enemies. This, oh, that would have been so awesome against the Force, but we kept failing. This attack is ranged combat +21. Okay. So we do a +20, +21. That means we hit unless we roll a 1. Don't roll a 1. We rolled a 12. So we do. This is going to kill it. It's got to kill it. 5d6 +4, and it has 6 hit points. So it's got to die. We do 6, 9, 10, 11, 15, 16. 20 points to it. It's on 6. It goes down just at the top. There's a splat behind the terraced house as a rain of the drone sweeps over, unloading its full complement of I can't think of the word, bullets. Sorry, full complement, sweeps in, and the Gzurn Shadow is no more. We have just succeeded in our first battle of Majestic 13, which hopefully I didn't muck up too much. We did have 2 dead, but you know, 2 out of action. But anyway, it's not so bad. Awesome. That's quite cool. Job done, I think.